Okay, we are back.
We are back.
We are back for
Here we
our
are.
6th episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That went
6.
quick.
Yeah. I think
Proud.
it's 4.
Proud
but
girls.
Yes, yes.
Proud.
4, 6. It's
Thank you, everyone who's been watching and got us to 6.
I know.
Very
Oh
cool.
my God, this is really amazing.
It is.
Yep.
Just goes to show you how many people are interested in menopause
Yeah.
and going through it and want more info.
Just goes to show you how many people want to know what they can do about a dry vagina.
Yes,
Nobody
especially
wants
the
that.
husbands.
Nobody wants a dry vagina.
Nobody
No,
wants.
it's
So I get up every morning at 3 a.m. Sometimes I look at my phone and I'm like, please don't tell me that it's 3 a.m. because now I did a deep dive and they say that the spirits come to you at 3 o'clock. And
but
is it
mine's
menopause or is it the
2:30. What does
spirits?
that mean?
I'm sorry. 2:30?
2:30,
I never heard
2:30,
that.
You never heard
2:35.
that? No.
I wake up and I say, "Oh no, I know what time it is," and I look 2:30,
Yeah.
2:35.
Now,
See, I won't look at my
do you
phone.
guys sleep with your husbands?
Yes.
I do too. But I will occasionally go on the couch to like get a better night's sleep.
Yeah.
I bed bounce a little bit.
Bed bounce. I like
He
that.
moves around a lot, so I bed bounce. If I
Yeah.
have an empty bedroom and my kids aren't home, I don't even want the dog in bed with me. When the dog gets up and shakes his fur in the middle of the night, or he wants to sleep on top of my body,
Yeah.
I can't, because if anything wakes me up, I am not falling back to sleep.
Right,
And my
that's the
next
thing.
day is shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
know?
if you really can't fall back asleep, which sometimes that happens, and then you stay up by 4 o'clock the next day, you feel like you've been up for 2 days with no sleep.
Hit by a
on top
truck.
of everything else.
And then
by
you're
a
just
truck.
the
Yeah.
sweetest little
Yeah,
thing.
the brain fog is like, brain
Yes,
fog,
and blurry
migraine.
vision.
Yeah.
Blurry vision. Oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I was talking to my friend the other
Oh,
day,
real?
and this is a funny story, who is my age. And we were talking about hormone replacement therapy and everything that's going on with the podcast. And she's like, some people just don't have any symptoms. So I'm like, I know. So, they really don't. Some people don't have any
Some
symptoms.
people don't.
In the meantime, she's like, oh, hold on a second. Where the is my car? And she's like going with the beeper, looking for her car. Right. And then she's like, did you get that dry eye stuff I asked you for? I go, no, I
symptoms,
couldn't
huh?
get it. I couldn't get
You
it
got
because
it.
of
No
whatever.
symptoms.
And then she's like, and I couldn't sleep last night, so I'm a little exhausted. And I'm like, okay, so you can't find your car.
Yeah.
Your eyes are dry and you couldn't sleep last night, but you don't have any symptoms.
Right.
Well, because
You're there.
people don't identify and realize that they don't put the two together. Oh, I'm having a bad day. Oh, I'm just tired. They
Right.
don't realize
They don't.
because people don't always talk about
Right.
menopause and all the things that it causes.
Right.
And
So-
and getting older. Sorry
so
to say.
let's say that you're 40 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? What do you think is the first thing in our experience? Because I haven't done anything. I'm the worst. I need to go through it. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I'm here, because I haven't done any estrogen or hormone replacement or shit. So what would be the first step that you would take? Like, who would you look to? Your gynecologist?
100%.
Gynecologist,
Okay.
yeah.
And, what would you say to them?
Well, whatever you're experiencing, if something's all of a sudden different, that's what you have to tell them. So what is this? It
Right, but what if they say, like, I remember my gynecologist offered me the estrogen cream, and I
Did he
never
do blood work?
and I never. Oh yeah, and I never did it.
Right. Okay.
I didn't do it because my mother told me it caused cancer.
Yeah. But so you should have went back to the doctor, told the doctor what your mom said if it concerned you that much that you didn't take it, and then you should have went through the appropriate testing, right? Because the BRCA gene is a test, familial history is a test, right? It's an indicator,
For sure, absolutely.
contraindication to taking the hormone replacement therapy. I mean, there's a probably a myriad of things that they would look at to make that determination. Because your mom just, she's speaking to you as your mom, with the limited information she has. So you do have to take whatever you've heard, and you've got to then recycle it back. It's a constant research. This is, even when you feel like you've identified, okay, I'm there, it's going to change every time your body changes. What do they say, every 7 years?
Every 7
But I
years, we
believe
don't
when
have
you're in menopause,
one
it changes more
cell.
often than that.
So now, as far as, because let's get back to the topic of sleep, do you feel that on hormone replacement therapy that your sleep has, that your sleep is better?
At times, yeah. When the
No, you're
hormone
not.
replacement therapy is at its ideal, but then we talked about
it
it. last-
changes.
It changes. So now, if your sleep's getting disrupted again, now you have to go get new blood panels and see why something's off.
And
It's
you
such a
know,
pain in the
It's
ass.
like you're constantly
It's a
chasing
job,
the answer,
right? It's a
yeah,
job.
it is.
job. And I think something also important, I know a lot of women that have been with their OBGYN forever, since they gave birth, they had their kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And that OB may not be the guy,
Right.
excuse me, that is going to be the right person for a hormone
specialist.
replacement, or
Right.
to, as you go into menopause, that may be really a gynecologist that specializes in something else. And especially, with a gynecologist, you get comfortable with your person. They
Right.
delivered your kids. They
Yeah.
know you all the
You have
years.
like a
Yeah.
special bond with that person.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
But sometimes if they're still
It works
delivering
against
babies,
you.
it's
Yeah.
working against you.
Right.
You feel like, oh, you know me my whole life. You know
and
me.
when they
which
come
is,
in and they say, how are you? Say, oh, I'm good.
right.
You know,
that's
because
what
it's
you
more
always
like a
say.
friend. It's not like you don't look at them to, give them a list of all the things that are really going on. So
Right. And I think, there are a million amazing doctors. I happen to know a lot of great OBGYNs. But sometimes those same guys, they're so used to you. It's like your friend. I know that's what happens when you get older and they make a joke. Whereas a specialist, because there are people where it's in their wheelhouse. That's what they do.
Right. So, I mean, you can really, you know what I really like? The service ZocDoc. Did you ever use that?
I have not.
I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with the platform.
Okay, so ZocDoc is a platform. It's an app where you can put your insurance in, and you can put exactly what you're looking for.
Right.
Because a lot of times you don't know who takes your insurance, where they are, what they do, and it just tells you exactly.
Is it telemedicine?
It's both. It's telemedicine and, yeah.
I really like the idea of telemedicine. Excuse me. I like the idea of telehealth medicine initially, because, and we spoke about this, I think, in the first episode, because how great is it if they can order all the labs, and when you go in for your visit,
Right.
we can go through, okay, let's review.
Now let's get the plan together, right?
Right. And it saves so much time. It's because you can align the lab results with some of the symptoms that you're feeling.
Doesn't it, some things are just so ridiculous because it just should be common sense. It's so annoying.
Should be. Should.
That you have to go in and talk to the person when you can talk to them on telehealth.
Yeah.
They can do the,
Especially
order
women.
the blood
women
work,
are
and then
the
the
most
next time you go in.
time-poor people on the
Absolutely.
planet.
Absolutely.
Time poor. I
Everyone
like
knows that.
I'm poor.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Who's running a business? Who's taking care of a household still? Kids at home, maybe adult kids. It doesn't change. You're still really busy, and we're that much more tired.
Yeah.
The days feel shorter because God knows you're exhausted at 6 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So did you guys have night sweats?
Oh, yeah.
I would wake up and be completely drenched and have to change everything.
But I didn't let it, that was one of my first indicators. I didn't let it go too far. As soon as it happened the second time.
You mean you had a night sweat once and then the second time you were like...
No, the second, I had it, and then the second time it happened again, I said, okay, this is the alert. Like, you need to take action now.
Right.
Went immediately to the doctor and said, I sat there, I remember sitting there, and I was holding back the tears because I was like, oh my God, it's happening to me. I was totally wanting to be in denial, but the other part of me, that's the bigger part of who I am, I'm a take action person. And I said, we need to fix this. I'm not going to live like this. I was very clear. I remember sitting up and putting my hands down and saying, I'm not going to live like this. What do I need to do?
Right.
And she kind of was like, but she knew I meant business.
Yeah.
And that was how I immediately got started on hormone replacement therapy. And it's 10 years later and I'm still on it. So.
Well, don't you think there is a big part of it, at least for me. Everybody, I always say this, everybody wants to grow old, but nobody wants to be old. And we don't want to feel old. No. Whether it's, our appearance, how we're feeling. So there really is a mental, barrier.
There's ego. Ego's involved.
Ego. Yeah. All of the things that, wow, my body is changing because that's the crossover where women will tend to feel old. Guys will make jokes.
Right.
Like, because now you're not fertile anymore. So you've lost your value in the animal kingdom. Right? It's a crazy thing to think about. Somebody said to me once, didn't I say this in the first episode? Somebody said one time, which, in the animal kingdom, which is the more valuable gender? Did I say that?
No.
And I said, well, female, of course, because, the female can reproduce. And the person replied with, wrong, because the male can reproduce its entire life. Right. But the female animal becomes useless in the animal kingdom after a certain amount of time. Right. Because if they can't make the babies or take care of the babies or, they lose their value. Right. Excuse me. So that, there's a
reality.
Negative connotation
Yeah.
Or at least there has been. You know, to me, as women, you know, you turn 50, we have life experience. We've, God willing, you know, created our lives the way we want it to be.
Right.
At that point, maybe we've raised children, have, you know, a marriage or 2 or 3, or successful or unsuccessful, you know, relationship, whatever we've
5 or
done.
6 marriages, you're good.
But we've lived.
Yeah.
You know, we've lived and experienced things. And there's so much value in that we've had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
But still, there's something about turning that corner,
Right.
because now you're in menopause. You know, so a lot of people, women I speak to, we see probably 200 women a month. And, you know, and we see young girls too, but a lot of them are our age group. And so many people don't even want to talk about it because they don't want to know.
Right.
So, of course, they don't want to treat it
Right.
because they don't want to admit,
Right.
well, then I'm in menopause, or I'm headed that way.
Yeah.
Because it means old. It means, you know.
My husband will joke around with me sometimes, like, if my back hurts or my knee hurt, and he'll be like, okay, Non, come on, because we all call my mother Nonna.
Right.
So, and I'm like, I just want to kill him.
Yeah.
But in the same breath, I laugh now because, all right, yeah, it could be looking like a little Nonna.
Yeah.
And I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it because I
Yeah.
love my mother
Wait.
and she's beautiful.
Do you ever stand up from a chair and like,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
will you sit down and go,
Or when
What
you
is
get
that?
out of the car after driving for an hour and you're like, oh my God, let me just stand here for a second because if I keep walking, I'm going to fall.
and it's crazy because it happens very, very slowly. Like you
Yeah.
don't realize it,
It
but then
creeps up
one
on you,
day
that
you're
little
there.
bastard.
There, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say F you menopause.
But you know what? So for those who want to get into the gym, take care of their body, build strength, hormone replacement therapy if you're the right candidate for that, aesthetic treatments, whether, you know, whatever it is, helps us to look better. The gym, weight-bearing exercise is going to help us to
Weight-bearing
feel
exercise
better.
is so
So
important.
important.
Yeah, you need
so
it.
important. Even if
Have
you
to
never did it
have
before.
weights.
Yes.
Stretching, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It makes, they always say if you don't, what is it? If you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
Use it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Getting out there and walking. And again, we don't have time and we're tired and you don't want to, but it's so important because that expression, like do something that your older self will thank you for.
Right.
Because guess what? If we're in our 50s and we're feeling how we feel now and do absolutely nothing about it,
Right.
imagine how we're going to feel in our 60s and beyond.
Yeah, it's imperative for me and my whole family. Like, ever since I was 16, I go to the gym 5 days a week. When I gave birth to my kids, they were in the nursery at 6 months. And it worked out because now that's their normal.
Right. Sure.
That's what they,
Yeah.
you lead by example. And when
Right.
your kids see you and your husband at the gym, that's a non-negotiable in our family. Like, you didn't go to the gym all week. Are you okay? Mm-hmm. Because later on in life, it's everything.
Oh, it is.
It really
Definitely.
is. And
Yeah.
especially for your mind. I mean, I go to a place called Core 95 where it's 95 degrees. And, you know,
Wow.
it's light weights. It's like 5-10 pounds.
Right.
Mainly core work. But we do a meditation 5 minutes before class and 5 minutes after. And that saves my life.
So nice. Wow.
It's amazing.
Really nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been going as often as I should. So I have a client who's a personal trainer. I'm going to give a shout out, Lauren at Elite Fitness. I love her in Huntington. And I was seeing the results so quickly. Then life got busy. Then I can only go once a week. Then I skip. And you feel the difference.
Yeah.
You see it. You feel it. And, you know, she drilled into me how important it is at every age. You know, maybe you can just do some cardio when you're in your 30s. When you're in your 50s,
You
the
have
joke
to
is
lift
over.
weights. You have
Yeah.
to.
I know bodies were made to move. They weren't meant to be stagnant. And when you stop doing things, your body realizes it and things start going wrong. Mm-hmm. So you do have to stay a body emotion. There's no question. And then your brain. So the brain fog is part of, I believe, with the lack of sleep, right? So, you know, your sleep, you're deprived of that rest period that you need. You wake up the next day, you're trying to get your day going, and you may have a pretty productive day, but there are points in the day where you stop and you say to yourself, wow, you know, I just like maybe need a minute. And
Crash,
what
you
is that
crash.
from? You know, again, same thing. Like maybe you're not doing as much activity, you're not sleeping, so package that all in.
Yeah.
Your hormone levels are not right. Your estrogen maybe is really low, and now you're prone to injury. So
Right,
if
that's
you
the
are going to
main
work
thing.
out, the stretching is so important, the warm up. I love that you do meditation before. I think
Yeah.
that's puts you so in that zone.
Yeah.
But you have to be really careful because the osteoporosis, the joints, right? All the different the ligaments,
Yeah.
things that can go wrong if you're not really prepped to work out and you're on this mission. So it's like
You
a
also
big
have to
spider
work out
web.
differently. You also have to work out differently. You have
Yeah.
to protect your joints differently.
Right, like I used to do CrossFit. Why the hell did I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, I was doing
It
snatches.
was a trend.
And I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
You know, the pull-ups and, you know, the bar pull-ups. But now I'm like, I'll take my Core 95 and do my core classes and
Core is
sit-ups
so
and
important.
just to be there every day. And I recently had an injury, a back injury, and I still go, even though sometimes during the class I can't do half of it. I'm still
Just
there
there.
sweating and
Right.
like I don't want to get out of that routine.
Right.
It's
You do
so
what you
great
can
to
do.
be in a
Yes.
routine and to have a class where you have to be there at a certain time.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone
like an
says.
appointment,
I've
yeah.
had personal trainers, but nothing compares to seeing all your girlfriends in the morning at 8 o'clock.
Right.
That you know everybody that's there.
Yeah.
Are you going? You going? I'll save you a spot. Like it means a lot to have that interaction with your friends in the morning.
For sure.
Plus the accountability.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that the accountability
Accountability.
makes you show up.
Yep.
Makes you show up.
So
because
anybody
if-
who's not, you know, working out right now, call a friend.
Yeah.
And join something, no matter what it is, and just do it with them and have a buddy, because I feel like people are a little bit more successful when there's accountability
Yes.
with a friend.
And you know what? For the people that absolutely don't work out, some people just don't work out. Do something.
Yeah.
Walk. If you're going to do nothing else, get up and walk.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it's great, of course, and the weight bearing, everything you said is so true. There are people who don't exercise. They just don't, and they never did. And they're not going to start in their 50s, you know, but get out and walk. Get the fresh air. Do something. Move your body.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. We're moving and shaking.
Always.
All right. What are we talking about next week?
So I think we're gonna before next week talk to each other about our influencers, our experts, people that have reached out to us, and then come up with our calendar, right? Of
Yeah, there's a lot of
Special
people on
guests.
TikTok that
Yeah.
have really great accounts.
Yeah.
A lot of big doctors that have really interesting accounts, and that's what we want to do. We want to be
Yeah.
relevant. We want to see what's going on online and social media and bring those people here into the
Right.
studio. So we're excited to do that.
And for our
Absolutely.
followers, we really want to know what you guys want to hear about and see, and we really
They
want
could
to
comment on the YouTube.
consider-
I think
yes.
that's
Yes,
perfect place for it, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Comment on the YouTube.
yeah. Keep everything in one
subscribe,
place. Yeah.
and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's exciting.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys. See you next week.
Thanks.
Hey, New York. I'm Harvey, proud owner of Optics and veteran in the eyewear industry. Consider this. Why would someone have a closet full of shoes but only a few pair of glasses when eyewear is the only accessory that completely changes the way you look, feel, and the way you're perceived? At Optics, Cartier, Chanel, Dior, Lindbergh headline our extensive collection of luxury eyewear. Our opticians are trained to style and fit your face to ensure that when you leave Optics, your friends will be wondering where you shop.
Hi friends, this is Dana Persico from Long Island Nail, Skin and Hair Institute. The Institute is not only the premier venue for licensing and certification for beauty professionals in Long Island as well as New York State. You can receive beauty treatments specifically for anti-aging, facials, body treatments, laser hair removal, hydrofacial. Our senior students are working in the spa. They are happy to get any of our guests ready for this special event located in Bethpage, New York at 1055 Stewart Avenue.